Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a couple of weeks since we have done a meals in the making, but this recipe that I'm bringing to you today we have already had before and we actually really like it. I was actually pretty surprised when Robbie liked it, but it's a keeper. So today we're gonna be making zucchini boats. Now the really awesome thing about zucchini boats is you can put pretty much anything in them. Today I'm gonna be making two types of zucchini boats, but I'm gonna show you the recipe for the one that I'll be eating. Robbie will probably put some pulled pork on top of his. We had pulled pork for dinner last night, so he'll just top his zucchini boat or fill his zucchini boat with pulled pork. He may also have the one that I'm cooking as well. Today, my recipe for my zucchini boats is going to be a cheddar ranch hamburger stuffed zucchini boat. So let me show you exactly what you need for that and we can get to cooking. The first thing you'll need is 2.5 zucchini sliced in half long ways. Now I've already done this because I was making sure that our zucchini were still good. So you want to slice them down the middle long ways. So you'll need 2.5 of those. And this is gonna make 2 full lean-in greens. So 2.5 for 2 people. You'll also need 1 pound of ground beef. I'm using 96% ground beef, as you can see. And this, actually I'm not gonna use the entire thing. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cook the whole thing up and then I may set some to the side because I want to use some cheese in mine, and cheese is 1/4 cup for 1 ounce of your protein. So instead of using 6 ounces of protein or 6 ounces of my hamburger meat in my zucchini boats, I'm going to use 5 ounces and 1/4 cup of my cheese per person. We'll get into that a little bit later. I'm also going to use 2 teaspoons of olive oil, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1/2 teaspoon of pepper, and 1/2 teaspoon of Hidden Valley Ranch seasoning. And that's it. So let's get started. Okay, we got a lot going on for this recipe. So the first thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna preheat my oven to 350 degrees. Forgot how to cook there for a second. I'm gonna start that. Then I'm going to get my zucchini scooped out, sliced down the middle long ways and scooped out and thrown into a skillet with my hamburger meat. So let's get that going. Before I start putting anything into the skillet, because I know I'll forget later, I'm gonna go ahead and add my 2 teaspoons of olive oil into there just so nothing sticks. It coats really nicely, gets a nice brown color. So let me do that first, and then I'm gonna throw my hamburger meat in there and put it on low so it can start to cook up a little bit because my zucchini is not going to take nearly as long as my hamburger meat will. So 2 teaspoons, this will equal, if you're new to program, 1 healthy fat per lean-in greens serving, and like I said, 2 people will be eating tonight. So I'm gonna do 2 teaspoons of olive oil to equal healthy fat for each of them. And with the type of meat that I'm using today, that's all I'm gonna have is 1 healthy fat. I'm gonna throw my pound of hamburger meat into my pan. And the other really good thing about this is because I'm not gonna use the entirety of this, I can put this aside and make zucchini boats tomorrow or the next day. I'm actually going home to my parents' house this weekend. So if Robbie needs a meal, he can easily just throw this in another zucchini, or we actually have squash in our refrigerator. Now, like I said, I'm gonna put this on low. My hamburger meat is still slightly frozen, but not anywhere near what it was an hour and a half ago. So I'm gonna break this up just a little bit, just because I don't want it to brown up in one big chunk. Okay. Now, while that's going, let's work with the zucchini. I'm going to be honest with you, this is the part that I don't like the most. Takes a little bit of time, and I always accidentally break my zucchini in half. So I'm gonna scoop, after I cut off the ends of these and cut them in half, I'm going to scoop the insides into here because we're gonna throw that in there with our hamburger meat to make a little bit more of a thicker filling. Okay, so now that I've got those great. And the boats are ready to go right here. I've got them on a foil lined baking sheet. I'm gonna go ahead and throw in my zucchini bits here. And I'm gonna let that all cook together. And I wanna kind of mash up some of the zucchini too, because there's big hunks in it right now. And if you saw, I broke one of the zucchini boats, but I actually kind of broke it in half, which is perfect because each person is gonna get 2 boats plus a half a boat to equal a full lean and green. I'm gonna turn this up some, get it sizzling. We're gonna brown the meat completely. And when we get close to the end, then I'm gonna go ahead and add in the seasoning. So I'll add in a half a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of pepper, and also half a teaspoon of our ranch powder. Other good news is that this actually saves really, really well. Last time we had zucchini boats for dinner like 2 nights in a row, I think, because I just saved and stored what we hadn't eaten for the next day. Okay, so we are almost all the way browned. I'm gonna go ahead right now and add half a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of pepper, half a teaspoon of my ranch dressing mix, half a teaspoon of salt, and then half a teaspoon of pepper. Whew! Got a whiff of that. And then finish letting it cook, but make sure you stir all that in or you're gonna get one good peppery bite and that'll be the end of your dinner. Almost done, maybe another minute or so. The next thing I'm gonna wanna do though is make sure that I drain this because there is a lot of liquid in here, fat, the rest of that oil, so I'm gonna drain that too. So I'm going to go ahead and measure out 5 ounces of our meat mixture to go for one half and then the other 5 ounces for the other half, and then I'll add the cheese on top of that. Robbie, I won't put cheese on because if you know him at all, you've been watching, he does not like cheese.
Get that out of here.
Okay, so there's 5 ounces for my zucchini boats. I'm gonna go ahead and start filling these really quickly. Uh-oh, zucchini down, shiner.
Yum.
There's some zucchini on the floor, buddy. 2, and then I'm gonna grab this other half over here. I'm gonna go ahead and give Robbie these 3, and I'll just take this little half down here. And then fill this part. Make sure you get every last bit of your meat mixture. That's what's gonna keep you full. Okay, so there's mine. And I'm gonna go ahead and sprinkle my 1/4 cup of cheese over those real fast. Like I said, 1/4 cup of shredded low-fat cheese. Cheese in general is going to be 1 ounce of your protein. So there's mine. I'm gonna go ahead and fill up Robbie's real fast without cheese, and then I will show you our next step. Okay, so he decided that he wanted pulled pork for 2 of his. So that's mine, and these 2 on the end are mine. Robbie's got 1 hamburger one here, and then 2 pulled pork. Next, I'm gonna throw this into the oven for 25 to 30 minutes until my zucchini boats are actually tender. And then they're ready to serve. So we'll see you in 25 minutes. All right, I just pulled them out of the oven. You can see there's Robbie's 2 pulled pork. There's my hamburger, my other half, and then that's Robbie's hamburger without the cheese on it. They look and smell amazing. So I'm gonna plate this up so you can see exactly what a serving looks like, and then I'll let you know what it counts as. Okay, so here we have 2 halves of a zucchini and 1/2 of a half. So 2 1/2 zucchini halves, or 1 1/4 zucchini equals your full lean and green for the day. So you're gonna have 1 leaner, 3 green, your healthy fat is taken care of with the olive oil, and then this is only 2 condiments. So you get 1 more condiment for the day. But thank you guys so much for watching. I'm so excited to eat this. It smells so good. I've had it before and know it's really, really good. You can even add, like, if you wanted to add a little bit of barbecue sauce to it and kind of finish up that last condiment, you could do that. If you wanted to sans the olive oil, you could do like actual ranch dressing instead. There's so many things you can do with this, but I'm ready to eat it. My mouth is watering. So I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Drop those non-scale victories down in the comments. Thank you for always being such an amazing support, and we will see you next time. I love you all, and God bless you.